So, Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get what the hype was about in the first place. I watched one episode of the original. I made a community post about this, and I thought it was better than Brotherhood. Like, the reason I chose to watch Brotherhood was because it was canon. It wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. Like, people glazed this to hell. What I assumed was that people watched Fullmetal Alchemist, the original, and then those who had only seen the original started pushing Brotherhood when it came out because they just assumed it would be better, but honestly, the only advantage it has is being more polished. I feel like it just could have used, like, better pacing. Like, it definitely should have slowed down much more for certain parts. I feel like they were just, like, underweight. Like, they didn't have that much weight to them. And I'd say they fixed this in the original one, or technically, they unfixed it because Brotherhood is newer. If you compare the first episodes of both series, the reveal of Ed's mechanical arm is just so much impactful in the original. Like, I actually felt shocked by it, even though I already knew that his hand was Fullmetal Alchemist. Brotherhood doesn't do this. It feels like everything in Brotherhood is paced the exact same. Like, every word takes the same amount of time to come out of their mouth. Every scene felt like the same amount of time passed for it to, pass. And I guess you could say, like, I'm kind of dogging on Brotherhood a lot here, but you're calling this the king of Shonen, and it's not holding up to it in Brotherhood. Like, it's just not. I don't know if I'm missing something. I do see that there's, like, really good dialogue. Like, I've noticed the callbacks, the symbolism in what is being said, and I do appreciate the animation and the polish, but I think the only thing it just needs is more emphasis. Like, slow down. Like, just slow down. That's all that would have helped. I think it was because, like, everyone just, like, already liked Fullmetal Alchemist for, like, the 6 years already, that when they saw Brotherhood, they were just like, oh, okay, it's good. Like, I don't see what you guys are seeing. I don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I'm pretty sure it's just the original in your heads, but I'm gonna watch the original anyways. I haven't watched it yet, but I've finished Brotherhood, obviously. I finished Brotherhood, and it wasn't exactly bad, but it wasn't exactly, like, King of Shonen quality either. I'd say, like, it only really got extremely good by episode 58, with all the whole Roy Mustang situation where he was about to kill Envy and become a monster, obviously. But what I would say, if I was still talking about the original, that still applies to Brotherhood, is that, well, if the base story and the writing is fine, and the message carries through, then it shouldn't really matter on the adaptation, which is why Brotherhood is actually still valid. But the 2003 version of Fullmetal Alchemist, it comes off as more grandiose than Brotherhood tries to be. Another thing I feel that weighed down the remake is that it does have a more overall cheery attitude towards, like, everything. Like, they made it more like a generic anime would be. And I feel like it should have leaned into more of those gloomy sides, those themes, a bit more, because that's what made it work so well in the first place. Like, in the manga, like, the third panel is Ed's leg, like, covered in blood. Like, there's a streak of blood, and it's just like, they kind of do have that in Brotherhood, but in the original, they really do show that. Like, they really do show it. Like, it's just more raw. They don't say, like, Fullmetal Alchemist at the beginning. It just happens. And the way the original presents things, it's just like, they show it, and you hear, like, there's screams, and there's, like, the credits, like, the opening credits, like, playing over it. Not the actual anime opening, but the credits. And it's just, like, it's cherry on top, and it continues after that. Oh, no, I could make I'm gonna make a whole different video on the original Fullmetal Alchemist, because I do like it. I do feel like I'm being, like, just a little bit mean, but at least Hiromu Arakawa, in the first volume of Fullmetal Alchemist, said, "Thank you for picking up my manga. Please criticize it by saying to yourself, what kind of alchemy is that?" in 2002. But honestly, everything else was pretty much fine. I just feel like more emphasis should have been made on the scenes. Over and over again, the most overlooked aspect of animation are, aspects of cinematography. Even though they tell you, like, framing and all that, like, it's different. Cinematography is different. As if the characters are actors and you're placing them in real life. That's actually what Bleach does so much, especially in early Bleach. If you ever stop and pay attention to where Bleach characters are standing in a room, they craft that, bro. It feels as if they were actually blocked in real life, and they put tape on the ground to show them where they stand, because, like, it's pretty realistic. Like, when you're immersing yourself in a story, I know it seems a little bit off topic, just bear with me. When you're immersing yourself in a story, you kind of see the character and the clothes they're wearing as one thing. You don't actually acknowledge the clothes they're wearing as clothes. You acknowledge that as the character as well. And if there's this, like, emphasis on the face, which there usually is in, like, almost everything, and I noticed in Bleach, it took me a while to, think of Ichigo as an actual person, But in Fullmetal Alchemist, I kind of made this connection instantly. Maybe it's the brash style of Ed's gear or coat, whatever. I watched the entire series and I still don't understand what that symbol means, but it does make him stand out in a sea of blue garb. I've always thought of the art style as squarish. But yeah, but I watched a couple episodes. I think I'm on like episode like 4 or 3, and you know, it's obviously not panned out. And I'm just like, I just started Attack on Titan. Honestly, I think but honestly, I probably will come back to it some other time. It's December, so I need to like get onto watching Christmas stuff and videos I have planned for Christmas. So yeah, one thing that would help me is if you subscribed. I have 619 subscribers right now, but you can press that button and make it 620. It's a free way to support me, and keeps me making videos. And yeah, subscribe.